Let's talk about your first kinetic operation in SAS.
I nearly just got lit up there. And this was in seconds of me being boots on the ground for the first time. I'd seen plenty of dead bodies before, but not guys that are armed and ready to fight there and then. The proximity of what it was completely new to me. Oh, things are slightly different here.
Let's talk about your first operation, kinetic operation in SAS in Afghanistan.
I remember it very clearly. I was in Assault 3, different assault teams, but my job was basically to run out. If there were any, we call them squirters, but essentially that's people, for people that don't know, that's people that run away when the helicopters land, move to fighting positions or try and escape capture or whatever it might be. So we were runner control, call it runner control, squirter control, whatever you want to call it. And I remember getting out of the back of the CH-47 and running towards target. When those birds land, we were on the X. And for those that don't understand what on the X means, it means we were landing on the target and running straight to where our assault positions were. And we were locking down the compound and, you know, whatever the enemy decided to do, then we were going to have our say. But I remember getting off in the first, I wasn't even out of the brownout and I can hear suppressed rounds being fired. And this was in seconds of me being boots on the ground for the first time. I walk out of the brownout. Still a bit more of a gunfight going on just up above from where my position was, probably about 50 meters in front of me. And I fan out like we do in the jungle. There's a very specific drill that you do in the jungle. And that's what I'm going back on my jungle training. And the guy behind me just like basically grabbed me and just like, stay in the line. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Don't fan out, basically. I was like, oh, things are slightly different here. I moved to my position, a step over a dude. He's got a long barrel weapon system, face down. He'd been brassed up. There was another gunfight going on in another compound around the corner, and I basically just went to the position that I was supposed to be in and awaited further fucking direction, basically. There were no runners. That guy didn't get the chance to run. He was trying to fight. He'd fired some rounds. I didn't hear that as I landed because of the fucking brownout and the rotor wash, but he'd engaged the task force on infill as they were coming out, and as he went down, the lead guy just dropped him in place. And that was the first real time, and I don't mind saying this, that was the first real time I was like up close to a dude. This is not Afghanistan 2010, where they're ghosts and you don't often get to see them. I mean, I'd seen plenty of dead bodies before, but not guys that are armed and ready to fight there and then. Do you know what I mean? That was the proximity of what it was completely new to me. In that, you know, I'd been in a lot of gunfights till then, and you know, I'd made a lot of engagements. I say a lot, half a dozen or so live engagements with people that I know for a fact I've hit, but it was all at range, whereas this was fucking super close. And I was like, that's kind of what I was looking for, you know. I was like, yeah, we've landed. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And again, everyone's just so calm about it. Everyone's just like, yeah, like, he shot at us, we shot him back. That's just the way it does business. And I know that sounds super basic, like, of course, that's what you're there to do. But it's when you see it for the first time, you're like, ah, fuck. This is cool. This is cool. Like, this is why I went through this whole process to get to this situation, to get that seat on that helicopter.
See you later. Looks all this building.
What do you think, Shawn?
We're high.
And then you're into like SSE, and I don't really know what I'm doing. And I'm like, it was a strange one because I was like, we're doing SSE. So SSE, for those that don't know, is basically making sure that we get all of the right information, you know, whether it's in, you know, documents, hard drives, USBs, anything that we can take off target that will then feed into the targeting cycle. So it's a super important job, and it's down to the new guys basically because it's hard work. And I look around and helmets off, dudes have got helmets off, assault weapon, you know, rifles are just leant against the wall, dudes are smoking, talking, all the new guys are running around like crazy trying to bag everything up and all the rest of it. And I'm like, how have we gone from being super hyper professional to being like standing around smoking with the helmets off? I was like, do you understand what I'm saying? It was like, it was a bit of a strange experience, but that was just what feeling out the squadron was like. And then you get used to like I'm like trying to pull sentry and pull guard, and I'm like, you don't need to do that. Is that why? Is that gunships up there? And I'm like, oh, okay. Do you understand? So it was a bit of a shift in that way. But yeah, that was the first, literally within seconds of stepping off the bird, shots were fired, enemy engaged, gunned up. I was like, yeah, this is exactly what it's supposed to be. And it just carried on. Just carried on like that.
Do you remember the first time that you killed somebody for close range?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was on a nighttime vehicle interdiction. We were hitting the narco, so basically they were taking heroin, opium, and all kinds of other shit from Helmand province down to the border in Pakistan, and then they were swapping it for guns, and then bringing those guns back up to use against the British Army. So we were just smashing those as best we could. We were doing them day and night. It was a dog actually that fucking saved me on this occasion. We got off, so there's multiple birds, but the bird that I was on was in charge of, again, runner control basically. So we had to stop a bird, and then a bird that would essentially, anyone that ran, we would then vector towards that. And then the 47s at the back would be the sort of assault force that would then go up and clear the vehicle. So I was like on, what's the word? Reserve basically. But these guys had run out, they were gunned up, and they'd gone off into the desert. Bird goes down. It was on the 60s, so the Black Hawks, American cruise. And I get off. My team leader's just like that, and I'm like, cool. So you see this sparkle. So it's like this IR pulse in the desert, which the drones have captured this guy running and maneuvering away. So they're vectoring me towards this location, but it's not specific to the point where it's like I know exactly where this dude is. It's a general area, and it was all sort of shrubs and bushes, and I'm just sort of closing down. I've got a couple of guys behind me. The dog handler's there, and it's a bush about sort of this high. And I'm coming round, and I'm starting to clear it. And all of a sudden, the dog comes from my position over to the right and goes right across my front and hits the bush on the left. And he fucking locks onto this dude, and I can see him straight away. It's like he's got the gun in one hand, and he's got a fucking dog on the other arm. And I just swing round, and it's almost as if we had that. It was like, I'm not going to say it was super professional. I was like, holy fuck! Like, I nearly just got lit up there. I need to slow down. It was more shock and panic than it was anything else. But we're pretty much as close as we are now. And I don't remember a sight picture. I don't remember anything. I just put a red laser on his chest and dumped 4, 5, 6 rounds into it, and that was it. And I'm just like, fucking hell! Like, thank God for that dog. You know, anything could have. Those were dicey. Those VIs were dicey, especially when you're closing down with people in those situations, because they've got the drop on you for the most part. Obviously, we've got night vision, all the dogs and all the tools to get it, but it only takes one burst, But that is close. That is proximity. Like, you can see the dude, like, from me to you. And it was like, yeah, over and done with. No one bats an eyelid. No one's like, well done, or you're right. It's just like, yeah, 1 times EKIA. Weapons found. Search him, take a picture, DNA, gone. That's it. On to the next operation. Like, yeah, surreal. But I'm not going to say it didn't feel good. I was indifferent to it. There was no emotional attachment to it whatsoever. It was like, that's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. It wasn't like, I didn't feel good about it. I didn't feel bad about it. I didn't feel anything about it, really, if I'm honest with you. It was like, well, if you're going to smuggle drugs and kill British soldiers, and then you're going to run around the desert with a gun in your hand, then what the fuck do you expect, You bought a ticket, you voted. That's the outcome. But it was.
Did you feel a sense of accomplishment?
Yeah, 100%. I felt like I was proud of myself because I did what I was supposed to do, And it wasn't an ego thing. It wasn't like, yeah, I've done this, I've done that. It was just like, oh, good, I reacted the way that I'm supposed to react, and I didn't hesitate, and I did exactly what was supposed to happen, and the end result was right. This guy would have fucking killed me if I'd have given him the chance. I learned some lessons to it. Slow the fuck down. Like, be careful, be a bit more cautious. I did feel bulletproof for a long time. I did have that sense of, I've done 2 tours of Sangin. Like, that carried me on for a long time. I was like, I can't die. I'm bomb-proof. I'm literally bomb-proof. I've been blown up a bunch of times, shot a bunch of times. Like, I thought I was fucking indestructible. And that was a little bit of an early warning there, just to be like, Jay, just fucking chill out a little bit. Hold your horses, because it only takes 1 round, right? And they don't have to be surgical. The application of violence that we do in those squadrons is surgical application. And it's extremely detailed in terms of the level of proficiency and the application of it. it's hyper professional. Whereas these guys don't need to be like that. They're just 1 round, 2 round here, there, and you don't. I've learned that lesson before the hard way. It doesn't matter if you're the best operator in the world. It doesn't matter if you're the best Royal Marine in the world. If you step on something or you move two inches to the left or 2 inches to the right, you don't get the chance to be good. You're going to get hurt. So that was a gentle reminder to myself there that you're not indestructible, and always fucking clear your corner, right? So yeah, it was strange one, bit surreal. I'm grateful for the dog. Grateful for the dog handler. But yeah, I learned a lot of lessons on that. But yeah, I don't feel any empathy for it now.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.